Today I thought it would be really interesting to share some of the top UK dividend paying stocks that are listed in the FTSE 100. Just quickly before we jump into that, I am not a qualified financial advisor, so please seek help from a trained professional if you need it. Some of these companies that I'm going to mention today are absolutely incredible companies to invest in. However, I do feel like there are some things that you should be aware of as an investor. So please hold on till the end of the video to find out what you really should know before diving in and throwing your money at some of these stocks. I'm going to base this list purely on dividend yield. Now, dividend yield is not the only factor that you should consider when deciding whether to invest in a company. There are many other things that you need to think about before deciding where your money goes. However, for the simplicity of this video, dividend yield is the only thing we are going to think about. Some of these companies have an incredibly high dividend yield and are also fantastic companies to invest in. So just do your own research after watching this video. I'm going to base this video on the dividend yield for each of these companies as of December 2021, but I will also pop up on the screen the dividend yield for each of these companies as of today. The first company on this list and in last place is Vodafone. If you didn't know, Vodafone is a massive telecommunications company based primarily here in the UK, but they have a few other places that they operate as well. And if you are from the UK, you probably know Vodafone as being one of the options that you have when you decide who to have your mobile phone contract with. The dividend yield for Vodafone as of December 2021 sat at 6.9%. What I will say is Vodafone's annual revenue and its stock price have been plummeting over the last few years, but they have been one of the companies that have consistently paid a stable dividend amount to their investors. Vodafone pay 2 dividends per year, excluding any special dividends that they may pay investors. Coming in at number 9 is Polymetal International. This is a company that primarily deal with precious metal mining, and their headquarters, I believe, is based in Cyprus, but they operate globally. Their dividend yield as of the back end of last year sat at 7.39%. Again, Polymetal International pay their investors dividends on a semi-annual basis. Coming in at number 8 is Phoenix Group Holdings. This is one of the largest providers of insurance in the UK, and I believe they also dabble in the pension industry as well. Their dividend yield sat at 7.48%, but what I will say is this company has steadily been increasing their dividend yield that they pay to their investors since 2010. So that could be something that you're really interested in as a potential investor. This company experienced a stock price plummet in 2020, along with many other companies, I'm sure, but since then they have been regrowing and steadily been rebounding. This company, Phoenix Group Holdings, pays their investors twice a year. In at number 7 is a company called Persimmon, and this is a UK company based out of York, and it is a company that are in the industry of house building and construction. This company pay their investors twice a year, and the dividend yield as of December 21 sat at 8.35%. Now, their stock price has been gradually and very slowly increasing over the last 5 years, but it's believed to still be quite an undervalued stock. In at number 6, we've got British American Tobacco. As the name gives away, this is a company that are one of the biggest companies actually in the tobacco industry, manufacturing and selling tobacco-based products worldwide. This company only began paying their investors back in 2018, so they've not got a long history of dividend payments. So that may worry some investors, but they have increased their dividend amount since then. Following on from that theme, we've got Imperial Brands at number 5. And again, this is a company that operates in the tobacco industry. They offered investors a dividend yield of 8.9%, but this is a company that have increased their dividend yield since 2012, year on year, stable increase. So they obviously also may increase their dividend yield in upcoming years as well. In at number 4, we've got M&G, which is one of the biggest investment management companies. This company is really new to the FTSE 100 after only joining in 2019 since a demerge from its parent company. And then the company only started paying dividends in 2020, so we really don't have a lot of history to go on when it comes to this company, but they are offering quite an attractive, healthy dividend yield. In at number 3, we have got BHP. This is the world's largest mining and metal company in the entire world. They are operating across the globe and are extracting commodities such as iron, nickel, and copper. BHP is one of the largest companies on the FTSE 100 when measuring their market capitalization. and they offer a pretty good dividend yield, and it's sat at 10.91% as of December 2021. So this could be really, really interesting and sound pretty juicy from an investor's point of view. In at second place, we have Rio Tinto. This is an international mining company, and what I will say is they have been paying their investors a stable dividends for years. It's one of those companies that dividend investors really trust, and they show promising growth for the future as well. So that just leaves first place. Which company that is in the FTSE 100 also offer the highest dividend yield? And the company is Evraz. Evraz are a steel manufacturing and mining company. They pay dividends twice a year, and as of December 2021, the dividend yield that they offered their investors sat at 13.39%. What I will say is that this company hasn't been offering dividends for very long at all, and they only started back in 2017. So we've covered the top 10 highest dividend yield companies that feature in the FTSE 100. Now, as an investor, you may think that, okay, I'll just go and throw money into these top 10s and I'll be set for life. It's not that simple. The best performing stocks, so the ones that are seeing the biggest growth, aren't always the ones that are paying dividends. Some companies decide to reinvest their dividends automatically, reinvest their revenue, and not actually pay their investors, and instead use that money to further grow their company. And these companies sometimes see better growth than companies that do offer a dividend. That may be something you want to think about. Also, if you did just invest in the companies listed today, you wouldn't really be getting a very diversified portfolio at all. A lot of the companies that have made it onto this list and that are paying high dividends are the companies that are in a select few number of industries, so the mining industry and the tobacco industry, for example. And that could be really, really risky as an investor. Ultimately, you want to diversify in different sectors as much as you possibly can. Mining companies always tend to make the list of the highest paying dividend companies, and that is because the mining industry is really, really volatile. So if you're a mining company, quite often you will want to offer a juicy looking dividend in order to attract investors into investing in your company, because otherwise they may see it as a real risk. It's a way to bring investors in and to enhance your stability of your company. But talking about stability, you must know that dividends can change. Dividends can be completely removed. A company can literally just stop paying their investors dividends. They can go up, they can go down, they can remain the same. It's really not consistent. So if you are investing in dividend companies, what I would say is perhaps have a look at the dividend history. Have a look at which ones of these companies or other companies that aren't on this list have been paying their investors good dividends for many, many years, perhaps even decades. These are maybe the companies that are worth putting your money into. Of course, if you've got a little bit of higher risk appetite, you may want to think about some of the companies on the list today, but that is obviously up to you. I'm thinking about setting up my own dividend portfolio just as a little experiment to see how much return I can make, what sort of dividends I can get from investing in dividend stocks. If that's something that you think I should do and you'd be interested in watching my journey, drop me a comment and let me know below if you want to see that. If you want to add any good paying dividend stocks that feature in the FTSE 100 you think people should know about, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.